it is very important topic I am going to discuss, that is the prevention of corrosion. How we have to prevent the corrosion. It is very important because the corrosion is deterioration of the materials and it brings very damages in different materials in the industry. So we have to know different methodologies of prevention.
Hi, good morning everyone. Today I am going to discuss about the wet corrosion and the prevention we can take to protect the different instruments from the corrosion. So in my last lecture, I have told about the definition of corrosion and the effects of corrosion, different types of corrosion and the mechanism of the dry corrosion. And I have given different examples along with the reactions. So today I will tell about the wet corrosion and how we can take prevention from the corrosion. And here you can get my email ID and mobile number in my personal information. So if you have any doubt, you can communicate with me. And the most important part, that is my course page. So here I have uploaded all the study materials. So if you, first of all, you have to join with my code, that is DMBC. Then you can access all the study materials. Not only that, you can get all the questions and the semester questions also, and the solve problems. The subject name, that is chemistry, and the subject code CH101 for odd semester, CH201 for even semester. And this course is for undergraduate BTech students, and the streams are CSE IT Civil Mechanical for even semester and Electrical EC BME for odd semester. Credits 3, contact hours 35. So I will take 3 lectures weekly. And to understand this course, the prerequisite knowledge required, that is the 12th standard. And by this course, the students will be able to learn the different concepts of chemistry. That is the course objective. And in the course outcome for corrosion, so students can apply their knowledge for corrosion control in different fields. So here you can see the lecture plan. From lecture plans, you can see that each lecture will cover which topics. So today our topic is corrosion, that is in the module 4, and this part is already highlighted. The first lecture of the corrosion already covered the types of corrosion, dry corrosion, and today you will learn the wet corrosion and preventive measures, and the students can get the knowledge to control corrosion. And the reference books also given here, the Bandyopadhyay Hajra, you can take from the library. So first I like to ask you that you tell that what is corrosion. You have learned in the last class that what is corrosion. Yes, corrosion is a deterioration of the metal by different materials. It may be oxygen, it may be chloride, it may be sulfide. Okay, so I told also that 2 types of corrosion possible. One is dry corrosion or chemical corrosion. Another is electrochemical corrosion or wet corrosion. So this is our metal. Now metal can be corroded. So you know that there is 2 types of corrosion. One is chemical corrosion, another is electrochemical corrosion. So also you have learned that why metal is corroded, because it like to become thermodynamically more stable. That is why the metal is corroded. So to get more stability, metal, the pure metal which remains at higher energy level, that reacts with different materials to become in the lower energy level. So here, to understand electrochemical corrosion, you see how the current flows, because I told that in the electrochemical corrosion, there are two parts will be created, that is the galvanic cell will be created. One is the cathodic part, another is the anodic part. So here you can see, if we take the steel and copper, so the current will flow in which direction? This is the positive, this is the negative. So you can see the current flow through the lamp from copper plate to the steel plate. Okay, so the driving force of the current is difference in electrical potential between the copper and steel. So it depends on electrical potential of copper and steel, that from which metal the current will flow to which metal. So the circuit must be closed, then current will consequently flow in the liquid. And you know that current generally flow from positively charged iron atom, leaving the steel plate, and the steel plates corrode. So in this case, what happens? If we take the combination, that is the galvanic cell, if we take combination of steel and copper, then steel will be corroded. And the deposition will take place on copper. So the corroding metal surface is called anode. Oxygen and water are consumed at the surface of the copper plate, and hydroxyl ions, which is negatively charged, are formed. The negative hydroxyl ion neutralize the positively charged iron atoms. The iron and hydroxyl ions form ferrous hydroxide, that is the rust. So that is the basic principle. So here you can see in the anodic part, let me show properly. In the anodic part, which reaction is taking place? The iron release electron and it becomes Fe+2. So this part is corroded. This part is corroded. And here in the cathodic part, O2, H2O and electron forms OH minus. Now this iron and OH will combine to make the ferrous hydroxide. So I will show in the next figure. So you understood how the reaction is taking place and how the transfer of the electron is taking place. So now look here, the anode, the electrode from which positive current flows into the electrolyte, cathode, electrode through which positive electric current leaves an electrolyte. So you understand which is the anode and which is cathode. Now see here. So you got in the anode, you got Fe+2, and in the cathodic part, you got OH minus. So these two combine together and we get ferrous hydroxide. Okay, so we get the deposition of the ferrous hydroxide, that is basically rust. So our iron is corroded. That means the iron decreasing, iron is corroded, and the deposition takes place at the cathode. So in the electrochemical corrosion. So you learn two types of corrosion and also learn the difference between dry corrosion and wet corrosion. So in the dry corrosion, the product, that means the compound is formed, it will remain at the place of corrosion. But for the electrochemical corrosion, which part is corroded? Which part is corroded? Tell me. That is the anodic part is corroded and deposition takes place at the cathode. So rust or the deposition takes place at the cathode. So here you can see the anodic part that is corroded. This part is corroded. And the deposition takes place at the cathode. So that is the difference. So you have understood very clearly with the electrochemical cell how the reaction, that means how these galvanic cells works. So basically rust is the Fe2O3.H2O. This is forms. So this is very important part, that hence the corrosion occurs at the anode and rust deposited at the cathode. So understand this concept. Okay. So now why, that means we are taking the different materials. So different, if we take different materials, so which material will be corroded and on which material it will be deposited? It depends on electrode potential, the galvanic series. Okay, so in the example above, it was shown that the driving force for the flow of current and thus the corrosion is a difference in electrode potential. Okay, it is due to the difference of electrode potential of the metal. And what is electrode potential? Electrode potential of a metal is an indication of the tendency of metal to dissolve and corrode in a certain electrolyte. Okay, so electrode potential of a metal is an indication of the tendency of the metal to dissolve and corrode in a certain electrolyte. So reference is also made to the nobility of the metal. So more noble the metal, the higher the electrode potential is, the less the tendency it has to dissolve in the electrolyte. So like say gold or platinum, so they are the noble material. So they have more electrode potential, so they have less tendency to dissolve in an electrolyte. So let's look in this chart. So here different electrode potential is given below. Okay, look carefully. The electrode potential of different metals can be specified in relation to one another in galvanic series for different electrolytes. The galvanic series of various metals in seawater shown below. So here you can see that the gold, that is positive 0.42. Silver, this one is, for silver, what is given? That is plus 0.19. So it is decreasing. For copper, stainless steel, that is plus 0.09. Copper 0.02. Tin, it is minus 0.26. So you can understand that the electrode potential higher for gold, silver. So they have the less tendency to be dissolved in the electrolyte. But say zinc is minus 0.86. So it will be highly dissolved in electrolyte. So here you have seen that the copper, we have to see the relative part. That means which will be like steel. Steel has the electrode potential, that is the minus 0.46. So we have to take the comparison. Like say, if we take steel and copper. So steel has minus 0.46, that means it has high tendency to dissolve in the electrolyte, but copper is plus 0.02. It has less tendency. So what will happen? So if we take two combination, like say iron and copper, so what will happen? Iron will be corroded and it will be deposited on copper. If we say, as for example, if we take zinc and iron, so like say if we take zinc, for this one, for zinc it is minus 0.86, and for the steel that is minus 0.46. So if we take the combination, so the zinc will be dissolved and it will be deposited on the iron. So in here you have understood the galvanization process, electrochemical process. And in this way, we can do the galvanization with the zinc. If we form a coating of zinc, that is called galvanization. If we give a coating of tin, that is called tinning. So again, you got the this similar picture, that is iron is corroded. It is the anodic part and it is deposited on the cathodic part. So rust formation, the total mechanism is given here. It is very well representation. So you can also represent it in this way. So look at here, at the cathode part, the OH minus is formed, and at the anode part, the iron plus is formed. After that, they combine together, then ferrous hydroxide is formed. That is our rust. So this is the basic or mechanism of the electrochemical reactions. So always in the electrochemical reactions, always the galvanic cell will be produced. There will be cathodic part and there will be anodic part. So this is the different conditions, like acid media. At the cathodic part, hydrogen will be liberated, and it is the neutral media or alkaline media. There will be different reactions. So there are different parameters which affects corrosion rate, like say oxidizing agents or say temperature. If the temperature increases, then the corrosion rate also will be increased. And concentration, like say pH value. If we do in the acidic medium, so rusting of the iron will be increased. So different condition of the environment affect on the corrosion. Now, the different types of electrochemical corrosion. So basically, the different types of electrochemical corrosion, the basic part is same. Like there will be two parts, anodic part and cathodic part. Now first I'm showing you the galvanic corrosion. So galvanic corrosion already you have learned, that means there will be two dissimilar metal. So based on the electrode potential, one will be corroded and the deposition will take place on other. Like say zinc and copper. So zinc will be corroded and the deposition will be taken place on copper. And the example you have seen, the iron versus copper. So iron is corroded as its electrode potential is less than copper. So you have learned the galvanic corrosion. So here the examples already I have told, example is given here, that the zinc, if we give the coating of zinc, so is corroded because it is less noble. And by contrast, if we give the coating of tin, so the opposite of protective effect occurs because the tin is more noble than the underlying steel. When the tin coating is broken, the steel beneath is immediately attacked preferentially. Okay, what it is telling, it is about the prevention. If we give the coating of zinc, so what will happen? If there is any pores, then also zinc will be corroded first, because the electrode potential of zinc is less than iron. But if tin coating, if we give the coating of tin, then if there is some pores, then what will happen? The iron will be corroded, not the tin. Okay, so we prefer the material zinc. So here you can see the galvanic series. So first here is the zinc, then aluminium, then cast iron, then brass, then copper, stainless steel, titanium. So on this, the corrosion depends. Next is pitting corrosion. So I told the basic principle is same, only it take place in different position. So based on the position, it is named differently. Like say at the anode, it is the anodic part. So pitting corrosion means there is a small pit. You can see a pit and the water droplet will be there. And here where there is the water drops, there is the deficiency of oxygen. Where there is deficiency of oxygen, it will become anode and iron will become Fe+2. And at the cathode, that means this part, there is plenty of oxygen. So at the cathode, it will react with oxygen and we get OH minus. After that, this Fe+2 and OH minus will combine together and we get the ferrous hydroxide. So this is called pitting corrosion, where there is a pit and the water drops inside the pit. Next is different types of corrosion, the same principle, the crevice corrosion. So it takes place at the crevice. Crevice means a narrow opening. So at the narrow opening where there is the least amount of oxygen, there the anodic part is formed, and where there is the plenty of oxygen, the cathodic part is formed. So this only you keep in mind and apply the same reactions and apply the same principle. Intergranular corrosion. So intergranular corrosion occurs between the grain boundaries inside a metal. This type of corrosion is well known for stainless steel, which have been soaked for an excessive period of time at temperature between 500 and 800 degrees centigrade. trace corrosion, that is also a type of corrosion. Next is the erosion corrosion. So you can see the figure, the similar concept, the similar reaction, cavitation corrosion. So erosion corrosion is a combination of electrochemical corrosion, that is a general corrosion, and the action of high-speed fluid eroding the corrosion product. Cavitation corrosion appears in areas where vapor bubbles are formed due to low pressure. When the bubbles implode on the surface, the protective oxide is destroyed and eroded away, and after that build up again. This process is repeated, and characteristics deep holes of cavitation corrosion are formed on the surface. This is the selective corrosion. So selective corrosion, that means there will be some selection during the corrosion. So selective corrosion occurs in metals in which the alloying elements are not uniformly distributed. Like where there is the alloying material, this will not be corroded, but where there is no alloying material, that will be corroded. So you have learned different types of electrochemical corrosion, and also you have learned that the reactions. Now the protection, that is most important part, that how we can take the preventive measures for corrosion. So there are three ways. Number one, modification of environment. Because you know that when any metal comes in contact with the environment, then it is corroded. So if we can modify the environment, then corrosion can be prevented. Like number one, to prevent corrosion from dissolved oxygen from water, reducing substance can be used. So if there is oxygen, so we can use the reducing substances like N2H4, N2SO4, etc. To prevent corrosion by acids, base like lime is used. So we have to basically, we know that the corrosion makes by oxygen, acid, etc. So we have to somehow neutralize all these things. We have to neutralize the acid. We have to remove the dissolved oxygen. In this way, we can prevent the corrosion. Next, to prevent corrosion by salts, they are removed by using ion exchange resin. So this is also another way to do the modification of the environment. We can also prevent corrosion by moisture removed using silica gel. And you have seen in our chemistry lab, we have kept the silica gel in the, we keep the calcium chloride to absorb the moisture in the desiccator. And silica gel you have seen in different products, there is the small bags, the silica gel kept. To prevent corrosion, we can also use the inhibitors. Next is the corrosion inhibitors. So it is also two types of inhibitors. One is anodic inhibitors, another is cathodic inhibitors. So you know that at the anodic part, which reaction takes place? As for the iron, for the rusting, I can remind you that iron is converted into iron plus 2. And in the cathodic part, which material is formed? That is OH minus. So what happens if we can stop this reaction? Then the corrosion will not take place. So we can use the corrosion inhibitors. So in the anodic part, the reaction, we have to reduce that reaction. So we can use alkalis, phosphates, chromates, etc., which react with the ions of the anode and produce insoluble precipitates which form a protective film on the metal. And cathodic inhibitors. In acidic solution, the cathodic reaction, that is the hydrogen is liberated. So the corrosion can be controlled by slowing down this reaction by using organic inhibitors like amines, heavy metals, substituted urea, thioureas, etc. So these are the corrosion inhibitors. Next is the modification of the properties of metal. So we can modify the environment, and easier part is the modification of the metals. So first is alloying. So we can make the alloy, like say brush. It is one type of alloy. So we can use for alloying like aluminium, chromium, nickel, titanium as protective layers, make steel less corrosive. Arsenic, antimony in brass prevents dezincification. Okay, refining, we can do the refining process. We can do annealing process. Annealing, it is the treatment, heat treatment to remove residual stresses. Next is the protective coating. So we can give the different coating to protect from the corrosion. Number one, anodic coating. So anodic coating means, if say we give the coating of the zinc, that is the anodic coating, because that zinc is more anodic than iron. That means if there is the iron, combination of iron and zinc, then zinc will be corroded first. So zinc will be the anodic part and iron will be the cathodic part. So if we give the coating on steel, like say on the bridges or different places we use the iron. So if we give the coating of zinc, so it will be corroded first. So it is called the suicidal metal. It is called the sacrificial metal. Okay, so it will sacrifice itself. Even say if there is some pores, then also first the zinc will be corroded. Zinc will be the anodic part, iron will be the cathodic part. So next is the cathodic coating. So in the cathodic coating, what we can take, that we can take the noble material. So this coating is good. That means initially there will be no corrosion, but if there is any pores or after some day, if it is eroded the material, then the iron will be affected first, because the iron is more anodic than the noble material. So example is the coating with the tin. Next, we can give different coatings like inorganic coatings, phosphate coating, chromate coating. Also, we can use the organic coating like paints. So generally when our old materials like say almirah or the cycle, we generally what we do the painting to protect from the corrosion. So we can use paints, etc. So what you have learned today, if I summarize, you have learned number one, different types of electrochemical corrosion. Second thing, you have learned the mechanism of electrochemical corrosion, how the reaction is taking place in the anodic part and in the cathodic part. And also you have learned that how we can protect the different equipments from the corrosion, how we can take the protective measures. So let's check that how much you have learned. So I am asking few of the MCQ. Number one, the method to prevent the corrosion of Fe by zinc coating. What is it? the method to prevent the corrosion of Fe by zinc coating, what is it? The answer will be galvanization. Number 2, foodstuff containers should not be galvanized. Why? Because the acid parts of the food can leach and the zinc can come into our foodstuffs. So that is why we should not do the galvanized, we should not use the galvanized container for the foodstuff. Number 3, during wet corrosion, which part? Number 1, anodic part undergoes reduction. Anodic part, number B, undergoes oxidation. Cathodic part undergoes reduction. So which one will be answer? So here you have seen the iron, it is the anodic part, it is oxidized, okay, and the cathodic part, that is reduced. So the answer will be D, that is both. B and C will be both. Next question is, the chemical composition of rust is which one? So answer will be Fe2O3.H2O. To prevent corrosion, SN coating is called as anodic protection or cathodic protection. So it will be, it is the coating, prevent corrosion coating, it is called B and C both. It is cathodic corrosion and tinning both. So B and C both. Next is, anodic coating protects underlying metal due to the higher oxidation potential, due to higher reduction potential, due to noble character, due to low reduction potential. Anodic coating, anodic coating protects underlying metal. How? Not due to its anodic coating means which one, like zinc, it is not the noble one, due to low reduction potential. So its reduction potential is low. Okay, so answer will be due to low reduction potential. Next is the short answer type questions. How is galvanization different from cathodic protection? So you can tell the galvanization means the protection, that means the coating with the zinc, and the cathodic protection, the coating with the material which is more noble than the other, on which we give the protection, like the tin. Differentiate tin with the iron, basically. Differentiate between chemical corrosion and electrochemical corrosion. So you have learned it, that you can tell different types, that what is dry corrosion, what is the electrochemical corrosion. Next is, explain 2 methods to prevent from corrosion. So any method you can explain, either the modification of environment, either the modification of the materials, or cathodic coating, anodic coating, or the coating with the paint, organic coating, etc. Okay, write short note on inhibitor. So you will explain 2 types of inhibitor, cathodic inhibitor and anodic inhibitor. And you tell that the reaction rate at the cathodic part and anodic part will be slowed down. And you must give the example. When you will say the cathodic inhibitor, so the reaction at the cathodic part will be slowed down, and additionally you have to give the examples. Okay, so I hope that all of you understood very well. You have enjoyed my class. If you have any doubt, you can communicate with me. Now, I am ending this session. Thank you.
Now, in the conclusion part, I like to summarize that what you have learned. So you have learned the definition of corrosion and how it happens by environment, different chemical reactions related to corrosions, and the types of corrosion, and most important, the prevention of corrosion. So I hope that you will be able to define the corrosion, types of corrosion. Not only that, you can take the necessary measurement of prevention of corrosion in not only in your home but also in industry. Thank you.